Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. And this time we are going to build a mid-century modern house. And it's also for a very special occasion, to be honest, because I had several really cool comments under one of my builds, and they were asking for a wheelchair accessible house. Here are some of the comments, and I absolutely love the idea because building for people with disabilities is very different somehow for the interior design, as well also for the accessibility of the house from the exterior. And this is something that I find really interesting, and I haven't seen that anybody else has done it for the Sims 4 and the speed builds, because we have such a vast SimTuber community as well. There are like lots and lots of SimTubers, and I thought this is the perfect tag to do, or the perfect thing to do for a speed build. And yeah, this is why I kinda invented, created the tag Sims with Disability to maybe tag people, and then these SimTubers and also other Sims around the world have to build something or create Sims with disabilities or for Sims with disabilities. And yeah, they can be creative with that and maybe think about how life with disabilities is. Because I personally don't have any impairments, I guess you call it. But the colleague of my boyfriend, she's in a wheelchair. And I asked her, especially for this build, like, okay, how should I do the house? How should a house for a person in a wheelchair look like? And of course she said, yeah, the first thing that she gets bothered with when she's looking for an apartment, she's currently living in an apartment. These apartment blocks need an elevator, of course. And the first thing she said is they need to have the right door size, because usually normal doors, I would say, are pretty narrow and they have to be, of course, wider. So this is something that, yeah, of course, makes super sense. And then I thought, do you even need doors? Like, is it okay if there are only archways or something? And she said, yeah, archways are perfect. Of course, if you live maybe in a very big household, maybe you sometimes need a door, just for privacy. But she lives alone, for example, so archways is perfect. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use bigger doors, for example. I'm going to use roofs outside as ramps. So yeah, it's like these tilted diagonal roofs. There will be 3 of them because I wanted to use a foundation here just, to make like use of these ramps. And there is 1 on the front and 2 on the side, so that you can actually go wherever she is or wherever the sim is living here, can get out of the house easily or into the house easily. And also, I asked her, how is your apartment looking like? How is it like interior-wise? How does it look like? Is everything like lower for you? And she said, yes, of course. Lots of things are lower. She, for example, she can also stand for a little bit if she can get a hold somewhere. So in the kitchen, for example, she even has some wall-hanging cabinets. They are lower, but she can reach them because she can stand for a little while. But she also says it's different for everybody because, there are some people who really can't stand. They can't, maybe do anything themselves or get out of the wheelchair just because she only can't use maybe her legs, but she can like push them up or something. But for others, it's of course very different. And then you have to do the interior design completely different then again. So sometimes you could maybe do a little extra room for somebody who's like a care helper person. I don't know the terminology here. Again, please keep in mind that I'm German and I really had like a big discussion on Twitter. How is it called, like politically correct? The terms always change and then I get confused because I'm not that into the material. So I had to ask, and somebody came up with the tag Sims with Disability. So this is like the thing it is called in English. So yeah, I hope that it is, because first I wanted to call it disabled friendly, which is like a direct translation from the German then. But yeah, then somebody like told me it could be that it's like the wrong terminology, and could be like that people get it wrong then or so. So yeah, it's just about building or creating Sims with disabilities or for Sims with disabilities. And yeah, that can be I think it's super interesting. So I chose, of course, a wheelchair accessible variation, but yeah, there are so many more stuff that you can reconsider. This is why I chose the mid-century house, because when the stuff pack bowling night stuff came out, everybody was like building the mid-century houses, mid-century modern houses, but yeah, something like this, I guess it's called in English. And yeah, I like them, but I'm not such a big fan of that style, and this is why I didn't build anything like that. But then, now with the wheelchair accessible, I always think that these mid-century houses have this kind of a bungalow feel. They don't have like stairs to go upstairs or something, have not like 3 or 4 floors or something. And this is perfect for the wheelchair accessible house, I guess. So we only have like 1 floor, and you can reach it with 3 ramps, like in the front, and then on the left side from the carport, and then on the right side again. And yeah, this was something that I really wanted to build, and I really have to say that mid-century modern houses, this is like a vast spectrum. It just tells you that it has been built roundabout in the mid-century of the 20th century, but it could also look totally different. The only thing that I have encountered looking at these photos from like normal family homes, like not, I don't know, galleries and museums, because these kinds of builds are always very different, of course, of a family home. So these usually have these really weird looking roofs. And this is what I wanted to do here too. I guess I've overdone it with the roof again, but I think it looks more interesting that way. And yeah, I really liked how it turned out at the end, but please, I am not going to do this mid-century modern because it's very hard for the roofing. I really have had so much trouble with the roofing and making like symmetrical or asymmetrical, but then very balanced. It's always hard for me. So this is why I usually like to do flat roofs, or maybe some accents with just 1 tilted roof or something. But yeah, this is just, oh my god, it was really hard to balance this out. So this house is basically 3 houses that I found on Google pictures together from the outside, the exterior shots. And yeah, so I made like all the pathways bigger from the outside, so that like a wheelchair person, oh my god, like a person in a wheelchair can get through. And also a carport, because yeah, the friend I was talking to, she is like driving in a car, it's all fine. And I even made a little pool, because I thought pools are effing cool. Everybody needs a pool. And yeah, I just think she likes to go swimming, of course, as well. So there's a pool, but I sadly couldn't fit the stairs in there, because yeah, I couldn't put the stairs in there, I couldn't put a roof in there. So just keep in mind that for the pool, of course, you need kind of a ramp as well, or stairs or something. Now I only put like this pool ladder in, but that would have been better. But we don't have that in The Sims 4. And this is why it's so cool maybe to do a tag about this, because I really want that maybe, like in the best way the sim developers see these kinds of videos being created or sims being created with a hashtag. Maybe they think about doing something or adding something to the game that you can maybe one day play with a person in a wheelchair, like a sim in a wheelchair or with other disabilities, to make it even more diverse and even more realistic. Yeah, it's something that I really liked about this idea, and I'm so thankful for all these amazing comments. And like when I was talking about, it was a patio, micro patio home or something, I was talking about this, about this tag or about the build that I wanted to do. And then suddenly like lots and lots of other viewers, like you guys, who were wrote, yeah, I'm sitting in a wheelchair as well, or I have like also an accessible home and everything. It would be super interesting, and suddenly there were like so many people interested in that, and I thought, this is amazing. It's really something we have to maybe talk about. I mean, it's a little micro universe, the sim building thing, but I think it's always great to address stuff like that. So yeah. I also have, like, full disclaimer, while I was furnishing this house, the recording stopped. I have no idea why. I couldn't recreate this glitch or bug of my recording software, but this is why you won't see the bathroom and the bedroom being furnished. And this is why at the end of this video, of course, there will be tons and tons of screenshots, just so you really get the vibe of the house. I'm really sorry, but yeah, I think it's okay maybe for this time. I was like thinking about doing the whole build again, but then no, please don't let, no. So yeah, about the interior design. I asked her, like my friend in the wheelchair, I asked her, when you get home, how's everything laid out? And she said she doesn't have carpets because especially her wheelchair is a little bit hard on carpets. So I only used the wooden flooring here. Keep in mind it's like a mid-century house still, like the whole style is mid-century, 70s, 50s, something. Yeah, it's a style that I personally don't really like in houses, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, I wanted to build something different as well, because sometimes always the same style is getting boring, of course. So, wooden floor it is, very wide archway doors, something like that. And then I asked her how her kitchen is like, because yeah, a counter is pretty high. And she has like very low counters, but since she can stand, sometimes she can like push herself up on the counter and then maybe reach something that is over, like in a wall cabinet or something. But the most things are very low, and also like a counter is like a real closed off box. It would be better if there's a little space under it, so it's just like hanging on the wall a little bit, so she can drive her wheelchair under it. So I'm only using the counters for the stove and for the sink. I couldn't make them lower, it's just not working in game. And yeah, you just have to imagine that they are all lowered. But then I found the wall hanging cabinets that you can place them in The Sims 4 like everywhere you want to on the wall. And I lowered them all. So yeah, this is how it basically looks like for her in her apartment. And then she said, yeah, and then everything is like cluttered on the lower part of your apartment, and the higher part has almost nothing. And yeah, that makes sense. And this is why I also made this like counter thing in the middle with the high chairs. Of course, I know they won't use it, but I really like these chairs, and this is why I wanted to use them. And since everything is like lower, higher, whatever, it's not really working here. But you have to pretend that it's like working, that it's all lower down. And I like the style of that. She especially never gets out of, it's like sometimes she gets out of her wheelchair and sits like on the sofa or something, because then she can like lay down or something. But usually, of course, she keeps on sitting in her wheelchair and eats sitting on the wheelchair and everything. And this is why there's also not like a big dining table, because she can pull it off to the coffee table. Also outside there will be a little grill barbecue area, and there will only be like some sofas and a coffee table. So basically you would go to the coffee table and use that as a table, because it has the right height. And yeah, these are all these things that I found super interesting to maybe incorporate. Also, next to the toilet, or at least the bathroom, has to be very spacious. Or she said the place next to the toilet has to be very spacious. You need a handle in the best case. And since I'm going to use only bowling stuff pack and then city living pack, I couldn't use the handles from the get to work, which would be better. So I used these wall dividers as a kind of a handle thing, maybe super stylized handle thing, so she can move over to the toilet, for example. Then she said something that I, for example, would have missed totally: floor height bathtubs or showers, because if she has to go up to go into the bathtub thing of a shower, for example, they have sometimes like a little, yeah, they are not like even on the ground. That's more difficult then. So I only used like a shower here, because we don't have like a big bathtub thing that is kind of a accessible thing. Yeah, I like that idea too. So only a shower it is. And I kind of really enjoyed doing this and thinking about, oh my god, now she's not here, now I can ask her, how am I going to do this? How am I going to build this? It's really interesting, and I think it would be cool if other SimTubers maybe do a build like this as well. I think, I mean, I personally, it was a challenge for me to really think about this stuff for the first time ever. I am not in a wheelchair. In my nearest friend circle, there's nobody in a wheelchair. So I never had to think about this. And now, like, building this, I really think that's really cool. And then she told me, like my friend in the wheelchair, she told me that there even are like really cool modernized houses that have these wall cabinets, and then you have like little buttons that you can move them down. And you can like automate lots and lots of stuff to get in reach of that and then move it up so it hangs like you have more space on the wall again. And all that kind of knickknacks. Also, of course, the bed. Usually these beds are pretty low and they have the, like, are motorized. Like the ones you usually have in a hospital. You can move them up and down and, you know, for every kind of need you may have. This is something that I also like, which we don't have in The Sims 4 as well, of course. But yeah, this is something that I really enjoyed building. I really like this house. I hope that my viewers who wanted to see this, I really hope that this is like an accurate thing, that you could really use this house. I made it really spacious and everything. I struggled a little bit with the mid-century interior design, like with colors and everything, because I don't like it personally. So I didn't know what to put there and what to arrange or how to arrange it. But yeah, this is the mid-century modern house, which is also wheelchair accessible. And I really enjoyed building this. And since I just created this tag, Sims with Disability, I'm going to tag lots of people, because I really want them to build something nice or maybe create a sim or something. And these are, of course, Freezer Bunny, Leander, Lukey, Spring Sims, please, and also Simarchi, I guess, because she also makes Sims 3 builds and maybe she does it in Sims 3 and then it could be really interesting. And lots of other people that I can't remember now, oh my god, Simlings and Thomas TV, of course. Oh my god, I totally forgot like lots and lots of other guys, but yeah, I want to see them. If you know them and know their channel, I will link them in the video description down below. Go there and annoy them. Do the Sims with Disability tag. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. I want to see lots and lots of other builds and other Simmers too. Kinda like me, think about the whole thing, how to build, how the life with a wheelchair is. I think it's really, it opens your mind. For me it was really like, oh my god, yeah, lots of stuff isn't accessible at all. It's horrible. So yeah, please tag them all, and I really hope that we create something cool with this hashtag. And yeah, I hope that you like the house. If you want to download it, the download link is in the video description down below. And yeah, enjoy a lot of screenshots, because yeah, I lost the last part of the recording. That's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.